welcome.
Welcome to Ring Talk. Magic Tyler. Caysen Smith.
Batman.
And Batman. And Roxanne Perez.
Roxanne Perez, who was all over the place this past week.
Yeah, we're gonna be talking about her, man.
Quite a bit. She was on like 3 different shows.
Yeah. Pete Dunne work.
Pete Dunne work. We call that the Pete Dunne, getting that Pete Dunne paycheck.
Yeah, Pete Dunne paycheck.
Pete Dunne pay raise.
Pete Dunne pay... PDPR.
PDPR, the Pete Dunne
the
pay
PDPR.
raise.
PDPR.
But let's run through SmackDown real quick, just so we can get to the nit and gritty.
Yeah.
The stuff people want to hear us talk about.
Right. Stand and deliver.
So SmackDown kicks off with Seth Rollins is delivering a pipe bomb.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
Heading into that Mania main event. Then we had the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, which is won by Carmelo Hayes. Big win for him.
Yeah, pretty solid.
He is him.
He is him.
He is the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal winner. Then Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, Bianca Belair, Naomi, and Jade Cargill all got into a huge brawl.
It's pretty fun to watch.
Zelina Vega defeated Chelsea Green.
Yep.
LA Knight versus Solo Sikoa got derailed by Jacob Fatu and Braun Strowman. This led to a tag match. LA Knight, Braun Strowman defeating Fatu and Sikoa. Then we had a 6-man tag match. We had American Made losing to Dragon Lee, Rey Fenix, and Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio getting injured in this match.
Yeah.
And that comes into play night 1 at WrestleMania.
It's really sad, man.
And then at the end of the night, Cody Rhodes and John Cena verbally destroy each other.
Yeah.
Heading in to Mania.
Who do you think won that, in your opinion?
Well, it looks like Cody Rhodes looking like he was standing on top.
Mm-hmm.
On top of the world.
Mm. Well, I mean, he won, like, the fight part of it, but, like, verbally, who do you think won?
I don't know. It's hard to go mic to mic against John Cena.
Cody Rhodes is pulling it out, though. He's doing that. All right.
Moving on to Stand and Deliver, who some say delivered better than WrestleMania.
I am one of those people.
Because it kicks off, well, the pre-show, I believe, had the Fatal 4-Way
women's tag match.
You had Gigi Dolan and Tatum Paxley defeating Fatal Influence, Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade, and the Meta Girls. Roxanne Perez walked out on her partner.
Yeah, on Cora Jade.
Wow.
And
why'd she do that?
It was so random, too. But
she didn't feel like she needed to be in the tag because she wanted to be in the women's championship match.
Yeah,
she didn't feel like she needed to be there in a tag number.
She didn't want
in the pre-show.
Yeah, she didn't want to be in a pre-show. She wanted to be in the show.
The show.
I mean, there's a Fatal 4-Way Women's Championship match.
Mm-hmm.
She's sure she could have been.
I feel like Roxanne Perez's last rivalry in NXT needs to be against Cora Jade.
I think so
because that'll send Cora Jade on top in NXT, and then Roxanne Perez can move on over to the main roster.
I agree with you.
Then we had the Men's North American Championship match. We had Ricky Saints defending against Ethan Page.
Ricky Saints pulls out the W, man.
2 former AEW stars.
Right.
Now on a big PLE.
Take that, AEW.
Ooh. You heard that crowd chanting, Tony fumbled.
Yeah.
You fumbled on these 2 stars. That's
definitely.
For sure. But yes, Ricky Saints picking up that big, fat W. Then we had the tag match, which it seems like in every PLE, the tag match is the best match of the night.
Yeah.
Especially with Nathan Frazier and Axiom. They defended against Hank and Tank.
This match of the night for me. Oof. Better than half of the matches we're going to be talking about in this video.
Yeah. And Hank and Tank picking up that big, I would dare say, upset of a win.
Yeah.
And our new tag team champions.
I mean, because they've been on like a losing streak, and then they randomly win this gauntlet match. They get into this match. They win this match.
No one's thinking they're going to win.
After so many kickouts and so many pin breakups.
Yeah. They won it.
They showed heart, man.
They showed heart, and it was enough.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping Nathan Frazier and Axiom get that bump up to the main roster.
I'm sure they will.
Next, it was the Women's North American Championship ladder match. You had Sol Ruka defeating Thea Hale, Lola Vice, Kalani Jordan, Izzy Dame, and Zarya.
Yeah, man.
Sol Ruka hitting that Soul Snatcher from the ladder.
Yeah, that was insane.
She has maybe one of the coolest finishers in NXT.
I think so, yeah.
Definitely in the women's division of NXT. Next, we had Dark State defeating the D'Angelo family.
Yeah, after
Stacks betraying the
D'Angelo.
family. Is he betraying the family or betraying Tony? I mean, Tony's the Don.
I mean, we'll get some answers on NXT.
I guess. But yes, Dark State then picked up the big fat W. Stephanie Valkyrie defeated Julia, Jordan Grace, and Jada Parker.
Yep.
In a big fatal 4-way. Action-packed. Stephanie picking up that W, though. And then in the main event, Obafemi defeats Trick Williams and Javon Evans in a triple threat.
That was a great match.
After all the punishment that Williams and Evans dished out to Obafemi still stood tall.
And I think this is probably close to the time when Trick Williams is going up.
Yeah.
And then Obafemi.
Javon Evans looks like he's going to be the next big babyface.
I think so.
NXT.
Yeah, he's only 20 years old, right?
Yeah, 20.
It's crazy.
But then that moves on to WrestleMania 41, Night 1, WrestleMania Saturday.
Yeah.
Kicks off with the World Heavyweight Championship match. We got the Ring General Gunther versus main event Yeet Jey Uso. The Royal Rumble winner.
Yeah.
Kicking off Mania.
Coming through the crowd.
It was a long walk.
Yeah.
I didn't know how long it was going to take him. It took him like 10 minutes.
It took him a bit, yeah.
To get through the crowd.
But hey, it was hype though.
That crowd they were yeeting all over the place.
Yeah. And he pulled it out, man.
He pulled it out in an interesting fashion.
Yeah.
Gunther dishing out all the pain that he can, the way Gunther knows how, and Jey Uso just taking it. And eventually he's, coming back. He's hitting frog splashes. He's hitting super kicks. He's hitting spears. But it's not taking down the Ring General.
After 3 splashes.
Yeah.
And then
that third one was to the back of Gunther.
And then chokes him out.
Yeah, puts him in the sleeper. And
he taps in like 2 seconds.
Very quickly. I thought it was very odd that he tapped so quickly.
He should have waited a little bit.
Yeah. Or get that, anticipation up.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, Jey Uso is your new World Heavyweight Champion.
Yeah.
Main event, Jey Uso did it. He's world champ.
He did it, man. We're going to see a little celebration on Raw.
Mm-hmm. Next, second match of the night was the World Tag Team title match. The War Raiders defending against the New Day.
Yeah. And they pulled off the W, man.
New Day picking up that big W. They are back on top of the division. Back on top, like when you started watching wrestling, New Day on top.
Mm-hmm.
They're back.
They're back on top. And guess
what?
They
look a little different than they did back then.
They don't need Big E.
Ooh, are you saying it right now? They don't need him. Do you say they never needed them?
I don't know about never, but
it's clear they don't need him now.
They don't need him anymore.
Yes, now they did not win fairly, obviously. They,
of course,
pulled a little dirty tactics to pick up the W, but hey, a win is a win.
A win is a win, and what can I say? They're the champions now.
They're the champs.
And they get their first challenge on Raw.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll talk about that later.
Next match was Jade Cargill going one-on-one with Naomi.
Yeah.
This match, in my opinion, started off a little slow, but I think it picked up.
I agree.
And Jade Cargill picking up that big fat W.
I think this match delivered.
Yeah, I think it started maybe a little slow, but I think it found its groove.
Yeah.
And I think it finished well. Jade Cargill, she moving on to something bigger and better?
Yeah,
Where's she going next?
I'm thinking, hopefully, title picture.
Title picture, right?
That's what I'm hoping.
Naomi, what do you do with her now?
I think
her and Bianca still have some unfinished business.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Her and Bianca still got some things to sort out.
To work out, yeah. United States Championship match, LA Knight, the Megastar taking on the Werewolf, Jacob Fatu.
Which is very interesting because Jacob Fatu gets no outside interference this match. He does this all on his own.
This was a clean. Jacob Fatu picking up the W, becoming the new U.S. champion.
Yeah.
And what was, honestly, a pretty good match all around from both men.
Right.
LA Knight, he hit that BFT.
Yeah.
Jacob Fatu, he did the moonsault, and LA Knight came in and hit the BFT from that. Fatu kicks out.
Fatu has a lot of resilience, man.
Yeah,
and,
he's the werewolf.
Yeah, this match...
He's the new U.S. champion.
This match also delivered. I enjoyed watching this match.
Yeah.
Probably second best match, in my opinion, of the night.
Oh, okay.
But then we have we get to see the glory.
The glory
next match.
that is El Grande Americano.
Yeah.
Taking on Rey Fenix. Now, Rey Mysterio was hurt the night before. Knee injury. They got to pull in a quick audible. Rey Fenix, I thought, was a great choice.
Yeah, man.
Because I don't think people wanted to see Dragon Lee versus El Grande Americano again. I think people were like, Rey Fenix is a good choice.
Yeah.
To throw in there.
And
El Grande Americano, though, picking up that big fat W.
Because as soon as he kicks his head, I guess he hit his knee on his face wrong or something.
Yeah.
He was clearly not cheating.
What was that move that he did to win the match? He did like a...
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It was just a backflip, but he did like two of them.
Right.
And just like landed almost like a senton on top of him and pinned him.
It was really cool.
Which I thought was a super cool move.
Which clearly Chad Gable could never have done that.
No, I've never seen him do that before. Next match was the Women's Championship. Tiffany Stratton defending against the 2025 Women's Royal Rumble winner, Charlotte Flair.
How do you think about this match, man?
It was...
That's how I'm
there
feeling.
was... I don't know, it just didn't seem like they were in sync.
I'm not going to lie to you.
They had a little trouble finding their groove.
Yeah. There's only one main championship match that I think pulled through. It's not the two matches in this night.
Ooh.
And
but yeah, at the end of the day, Tiffany Stratton picks up the W, retaining the championship. I don't think this rivalry is done yet.
I will say, though, the entrances this match are...
I love Tiffany Stratton's entrance, the little Barbie doll.
Yeah, that was sick.
I didn't know which one it was. I didn't know which one she was.
I couldn't tell. But
And then Charlotte Flair's little rolling up.
Yeah, man.
Because she's Charlotte Flair and she gets that privilege.
But we also have probably the sickest entrance of the night from Seth freaking Rollins with the flamethrower. That was sick.
Roman Reigns' entrance was pretty simple. Like nothing crazy. But you don't need a crazy entrance when you're the tribal chief.
I know.
The crowd is your entrance.
His entrance is already have enough aura, man. You're good with that.
Now, CM Punk's was cool how they played his old music.
Right.
And did the whole video package. And then they had Living Color, the actual band, play his music out.
Yeah.
It was super cool.
It was sick.
And then the match begins. That bell rings.
What do you want to talk about, man? There's so much in this match.
This match, these men were just trying to kill each other.
First of all, Seth Rollins and CM Punk were going at it in the crowd with the trash cans and all this stuff.
Yeah, CM Punk suplexed Seth Rollins right on top of that trash can.
Yeah, man.
That looked like it hurt. Roman Reigns, I like the part where Seth is trying to convince him to reunite the Shield for one last moment to take out CM Punk and powerbomb through the table.
And Roman Reigns was with it at first. He was yelling, telling get him up and stuff.
He's like, no, I've fallen for this before.
And as soon as Seth Rollins got him up, Roman Reigns just, he's like, I'll do it myself.
And then he just powerbombed both of them.
In both tables.
Because Roman Reigns, again, he's been fooled by that before.
Right.
He's not going to let it happen again. Because he's the tribal chief, and he does not work with the slime that is Seth freaking Rollins.
Roman Reigns, he was letting all of his anger out, man. He had so much built in. He let it all out. And
these men, they were hitting finishers after finishers after finishers. So many all over the place. Pedigrees, spears, GTSs, curb stomps, guillotines, anaconda vices. Everything that you can think of, they did.
It all just ends up with all three of them on the floor,
Paul Heyman,
on the mat.
Paul Heyman grabbing a chair.
There's CM Punk.
You got on one side.
There's Roman Reigns.
On the other side.
Who does he choose?
You got Paul Heyman in the middle.
Who does he choose?
gives it to CM Punk.
Mm.
He gives it to the Second City Saint.
But then
he gets in the ring. He gives it to him. Punk gets up and he... Big old low blow. Big old low blow.
Right.
And Roman, you can see the joy in his face. He's like, yes. The wise man remains loyal to his tribal chief.
Gives him the chair.
And he starts just beating down CM Punk. And then he sees Seth freaking Rollins. And it's like, I'm getting deja vu from last year. It's like, I've seen this story multiple times. I know how it ends.
Yeah. Seth Rollins on the ropes, his back to Roman Reigns. Almost as if...
Roman with the chair.
Yeah, it's almost as if the roles are swapped.
Mm-hmm.
But wait. There's more.
There's more.
Oh, man.
Another low blow. Paul Heyman gets down on one knee. Boom, to Roman Reigns. Lets it linger for, in my opinion, a little too long. I thought it got a little weird. But at the end of the day, yes, low blow to Roman Reigns. It gave
everyone time to process what just happened.
And Seth Rollins is like, the plan is in motion.
Without even turning around, Seth Rollins leaves his hand out. So the chair will be placed in his hand.
And he starts beating down Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Then hits that curb stomp. Goes for the pin. And gets the 1, 2, 3.
Seth Rollins is officially a Paul Heyman guy.
Mm-hmm. He wins the main event of WrestleMania Night 1.
This is a 5-star match for me. I'm not going to lie to you.
Okay.
But anyways, this is what Seth needed. He needed this.
Something new. Something fresh. Paul Heyman is fresh.
I like how people are still getting in with like singing his song and stuff, but they're also like booing him out on Raw. We'll see that later, but like, I don't know. Do you consider Seth a heel or a face now?
I mean, I think he's whatever he wants to be, whatever he needs to be at the time. I think nowadays there are some people in the WWE where them being a heel or face it's not black and white. Mm-hmm. It's a little gray. They're a little in the middle.
Yeah, like Jacob Fatu, for example.
Mm-hmm. Braun Breaker.
Yeah. Seth Rollins being one of those people. I'm still cheering for the guy. I want him to get to that championship spot, man. I want him to get back on top. But we'll talk about this story a lot more later.
Yeah. Night 2 of WrestleMania 41 kicks off with the Women's World Championship Triple Threat match. Io Sky defending against Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair. Unlike the previous women's matches in the first night, these women, I believe, found their groove at the very beginning and kept it all the way to the end. Fantastic match, man. Mm-hmm.
They
seemed like they were in sync the whole time.
I mean, these 3 women are so good at what they do, and there's bits where I thought, man, anyone could win here. Right. But at the end of the day, the champion comes out on top, does the moonsault on both of the women, and wins the match.
Yeah. Pins, I believe, Bianca Belair.
Yeah.
I'm so glad Io Sky finally gets her big WrestleMania moment.
She got it, man.
Gets that big win.
But then we have another great match.
We have the Sin City Street Fight. Drew McIntyre going one-on-one with Las Vegas' own Damian Priest.
Of course, Drew McIntyre picks up the W.
Thank goodness
and
for that.
As soon as he got that, I was
It was a very violent match.
Yeah. I will say, though, Damian Priest did well. He did well in this match, but it's not as much.
I thought it was a good match. This next match was possibly my highlight of the match of the night. And that was the Fatal 4-Way Intercontinental Championship match.
Yeah.
Between Braun Breaker, Dominic Mysterio, Penta, and Finn Balor.
Yeah, this match was probably my favorite match of night 2.
Yeah.
Dirty Dominic Mysterio.
Yes.
Would we call this a betrayal?
No, I wouldn't call it a betrayal.
I think it's just every man for himself was what just happened.
I just think they knew it was inevitable.
Yeah.
They were going to have to fight each other. Yeah. Both of them wanted the title. They both can't win.
Yeah. Dirty Dominic Mysterio pinning Finn Balor.
Mm-hmm. He hits that frog splash onto Finn while he's pinning... Is it Penta? Or Breaker? I believe
Braun Breaker.
Braun Breaker. and then lands on Finn, pins Finn 1, 2, 3, and the crowd for the first time cheering Dominic Mysterio like that. Like they went nuts for him.
That was his WrestleMania moment, man.
Mm-hmm.
And
I like how he went up the ramp and then went back down, and the crowd was going nuts.
And Finn Balor, man, sitting on the side.
He didn't know whether to be kind of proud. I think maybe he just physically couldn't help himself. I think he was genuinely proud of Dominic Mysterio. Like Finn Balor as a person was proud. Like he's gotten to watch this kid grow up in the business, and is now getting his big moment, succeeding, and the crowd going nuts for him. I believe, like as a character, he was probably like upset,
right?
But as like a person, he was probably just insanely proud of him.
No, I agree.
Happy for him.
Yeah. We see a lot more about this Monday.
Now, don't count out Penta. Had a great showing in this match. Great WrestleMania debut.
All four of these dudes.
Braun Breaker is going to be an absolute star.
Yeah.
I believe he could be world champion by Mania next year.
Him and Seth Rollins?
Take it to the bank. Take it to the bank. Him and Seth Rollins for the world title.
I would watch that.
Early WrestleMania 42 prediction.
Is that's our 42?
That's our first prediction.
Yeah.
Is Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker.
Yeah. All right.
Next match was Randy Orton's Open Challenge. Now a lot of names have been getting thrown out to be his opponent. Sami Zayn, because obviously there's a story there.
Right.
I heard that Jeff Hardy's name was thrown around a little bit.
Really?
Yes, backstage. It was thrown around, and again, there's plenty of story there.
I was sitting there just thinking about it, and I'm like, there's so many names that they could put here, but Randy has to win. So I didn't think it was going to be a returning superstar, in my opinion. I think it was going to...
It was a bit of a returning superstar in the sense that returned to the WWE. Because it was TNA World Champion...
I said his name.
Joe Hendry.
I said his name.
When the walls kind of opened up and you could see him, I instantly knew, Joe Hendry.
But it's funny. We all knew, but the crowd was
the crowd probably couldn't see it very well. And then they heard the music and went nuts.
Dude, I said his name. I just want to point that out.
Did you say... You summoned him. It's because of you.
I told you. I was like, It's going to be Joe Hendry.
Wow. This guy.
Me and him were seeing each other the day of, and we were like, it could be Joe Hendry. And you were like, that's not a bad idea.
Say his name.
I believe in Joe Hendry.
But believing was not enough for him this night because he did not get the W.
He
had a good showing.
He let the crowd get to his head,
I think, he was a showman to the crowd a little too much. Got a little caught up in the moment, and of course, you can't do that to the legend that is Randy Orton.
He turns around, and then as he's looking at the camera, you just see Randy Orton
come from the side and just nail him.
So funny, man. I was dying whenever that happened. I was
and
like,
then
that's
Randy
perfect.
Orton does the thing,
and
then goes the...
Yeah, that was so funny. Overall, I think it was great just good as it could have been,
Yeah. Next match was Logan Paul going one-on-one with the phenomenal AJ Styles.
Yeah.
Logan Paul's entourage trying to get involved a little bit.
And then...
Karrion Kross
gets involved. And I think it's setting up for AJ Styles versus Karrion Kross. Hopefully we get Karrion Kross a first ever PLE.
I would love
showing.
Has he never...
Him and AJ Styles.
Has he never wrestled at a PLE? Surely he has.
Oh, wait. I guess he had at last year's WrestleMania.
Sure, yeah. So I'm like, surely he's wrestled at PLEs. But it's been a while.
In a while, yeah. There you
go. Then, of course, Karrion Kross getting in AJ Styles' heads. This helps Logan Paul get the upper hand and pick up the W.
Yeah.
Then we got the Women's Tag Team Championship match. We have Liv and Raquel defending against Lyra Valkyria and what was supposed to be Bayley. But she had been attacked.
Mm-hmm.
And we get Lyra having to find a new opponent, or a new partner.
It's Becky Lynch.
And I think it was pretty obvious. People knew it was going to be Becky Lynch.
And
they get the W. New champs.
We'll talk about this on Raw, man.
New champs. Becky Lynch and Lyra getting that big W.
There's some theories I have.
Oh, he's got theories. Moving on to the main event. Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare, going one-on-one with the GOAT, John Cena, for the WWE Undisputed Championship.
And John Cena pulls off the win in a very easy fashion.
17-time champion.
Just dominates.
Travis Scott gets involved.
I wish The Rock did.
The Rock did not get involved. The Rock was not there. John Cena picks up the W. He's now a 17-time. He breaks Ric Flair's record. Before we talk about the actual match, I want a yes or no answer. Is John Cena the GOAT?
Yeah. If Michael Cole says it, it's true.
It's true. John Cena is the GOAT.
Yeah.
He defeats Cody Rhodes. Now, let me hear your thoughts on the match itself. Trash.
Yeah.
Trash.
Yeah.
It was boring. It was so boring.
Should have been night one main event at most.
And there was no Rock. I don't understand.
Yeah.
I don't get what the point was bringing him at Chamber. I saw Rock on the Pat McAfee show, and he literally stated the reason they brought him for Elimination Chamber was not because they had a story. It's because they had trouble selling tickets. And I just think that's ridiculous. That you create this story around John Cena turning heel. You have The Rock clearly be such a big part of it and then do nothing. And then absolutely nothing.
Let it out, man.
Just
let it out, man.
It doesn't make sense. It's stupid. It's so stupid.
And if you're not going to have The Rock, at least make the match more exciting.
More exciting.
Yeah.
I mean, I see why John Cena's ready to hang it up because he looks old.
He does. I feel like the reason the match went
he's a little slow.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. But John Cena, yes, is the new WWE champion, 17-time, the absolute GOAT.
Yeah.
And that closes WrestleMania 41.
And it opens Raw.
Raw on April 21st.
John Cena
comes out and just tells you why he's the GOAT. Why he's the man. He's going to ruin wrestling, apparently.
But is he, though?
I don't know. We're going to see.
As he gets RKO'd.
RKO'd out of
the
nowhere.
Viper.
Randy Orton.
One last match.
We called this, obviously. We called this.
One last match in St. Louis.
Backlash, St. Louis. I think this is perfect. In the main event, you got Randy Orton in his hometown, John Cena, who's going to get booed out of the arena in St. Louis.
With the title.
With the title on the line. Randy Orton's going to get a huge pop. Yeah. John Cena going to get booed into oblivion. John Cena clearly going to win.
Yeah.
And then get booed even louder.
They need to get him more heel, man. I mean, crowds are doing amazing at booing him already.
Yeah. Well, we've had practice.
All right.
But yes, it's looking like we're going to get John Cena and Randy Orton at Backlash, hopefully. Not official, but most likely.
Yeah.
Then we had the Women's Championship rematch. We had Becky and Lyra defending against Liv and Raquel.
This match makes me just question everything.
No, I understand. Hold on. I understand it. I mean, clearly they're trying to push Lyra as hard as they possibly can. I get it. I think they need to be careful because this a lot of times will lead to a negative reaction from the fans. The fans clearly do not like being forced things. Look at Roman Reigns pre-Tribal Chief.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look at John Cena back in the day.
I will say I understand what happens after the match.
Yes, so Liv and Raquel pick up the W. They are now 4-time tag team champions together. Becky then attacks Lyra. Clearly, this is a good way to help justify Becky being upset.
Right.
Being like, oh, we just got the titles. I helped you win it. And then we lose them. Yeah. You lose them. And it makes me look... Well. It embarrasses me. And I'm freaking Becky Lynch. And I don't deserve that. So she takes it. I get that. That it's also going to help push, the Women's Intercontinental Championship. I would even be down for them to give Becky the title and then have Lyra win it back.
Yeah, I think
down the line. Because I feel like these women are going to have possibly do a three-peat.
Yeah.
Do 3 matches. Moving on to
The New Day.
The New Day coming out, celebrating their title win.
Thank God for The New Day.
I love the way Xavier Woods does it. Thank God.
It's there's a reason that it's only him that says it.
That only does it that way. Yeah, and says it. He does it so good.
And
Alpha Academy.
Alpha Academy's like, hey, we want a match.
I want a match. They're like, fine.
They were gonna say no, but then they're getting called chicken and called scared.
They don't like that.
And
I'll let you finish. I'll let you finish this.
They're both in the ring about to start the match.
Tell the story. Tell it.
Rusev comes out.
Rusev Day has returned. Caysen, what day is it?
Rusev Day!
What day is it?
Rusev Day!
Rusev Day.
It's Rusev Day.
Back in the WWE, Rusev returns.
So hyped, man.
And just takes out everybody.
Yeah.
Making a statement.
The New Day walk out. They're like, we don't want any part of this.
Any part of this. And Rusev goes after Alpha Academy.
Yeah, getting the accolade. Yes, accolade on Otis. It's insane, dude.
Let me ask you this.
Definitely set him for his first match with Otis.
Is Rusev on this new run, is he going to be world champion?
Keeps showing dominance. He looks bigger and better.
Yeah? You think he's going to do it? You think this is the Rusev?
I hope so.
The main event Rusev that we can get?
I hope so. Yeah, I really hope so.
Then we got Io Sky coming out and celebrating.
Yep.
Lots of celebrations. And she definitely is justified. She put on a banger match. She definitely deserved it. The crowd was chanting, "You deserve it." She did indeed.
Yeah.
She's interrupted, though, by NXT Women's Champion Stephanie Valkyrie.
Then they decide, like...
They're going to fight.
They're going to have a match.
They're going to fight. And it was a good match.
It was set up to be a great match. And then towards the end of the match...
Interrupted by Julia and Roxanne Perez.
Which is very interesting why it's those two specifically.
Because I feel like you can maybe call Julia a heel at this point.
Yeah.
Because she's taking out Stephanie. I feel like that's going to be the big rivalry going forward for the next year, is them two.
Yeah.
Roxanne Perez, obviously she is going to have a match against Stephanie at NXT that next night. So that makes sense for her being there. And also she's getting ready to move on to that big main roster spot. However, they are saved by
Rhea Ripley. Says it's setting up for Io Sky and Rhea Ripley because
one more time
Rhea
at Backlash.
Pulls her arm back.
Yeah, Rhea.
She wants her title back.
She wants her title back.
She's not getting it back. It's Io's.
It's Io's time.
It's Io's title.
Next is a Jey Uso celebration.
Yeah.
For becoming the new World Heavyweight Champion.
Surprise person comes out. Sami Zayn returns. Sami Zayn.
Who I thought was going to turn on Jey Uso.
I did too.
And the crowd did too. Especially when Jey Uso was on the turnbuckle facing the crowd and Sami's just standing behind him. You heard the crowd go like, oh, like he's just going to do something. He doesn't do anything.
Then Jimmy comes out.
And basically the point both men make is they're just insanely proud of Jey Uso.
We have an Usi moment.
Mm-hmm. A very Usi moment.
Yeah. Who do you think is next for Jey Uso?
Braun Breaker.
You think so?
I think down the line this year it'll be Braun. I can see Seth Rollins.
I think, yeah.
It just depends. Rollins. Obviously we'll have the draft coming up soon. So people are going to get switched around. I could definitely see Jay being moved over to SmackDown and being the World Heavyweight title and bringing John over on Raw.
Especially if Netflix and things like that.
Yeah, with Netflix and his big farewell tour, they're going to want him on Netflix. So I see that happening.
Which probably means Randy
However, I don't think that they're going to throw the whole Paul Heyman storyline to SmackDown. I think they're going to keep that on Raw.
Yeah.
So
I think we're seeing Seth Rollins on both shows.
You think?
For a bit, yeah.
I see Logan Paul being a big opponent for Jey Uso this year. Down the line, maybe at SummerSlam. Moving on. After that, it goes to commercial. We come back and Gunther is at the announce table, not happy.
Yeah, getting mad at Michael Cole.
Michael Cole and Pat McAfee and pushing Michael Cole.
Pat McAfee comes out and starts beating him up.
Yeah, well, hits him, being like, "Hey, get back! That's my dog."
Yeah.
And Gunther's a little taken aback by it. Pat McAfee doesn't think he's in a fight. He's just like saying, "Hey, get back! You know, that's my dog." Turns his back, which you should not do
to Gunther,
especially after you just punch him.
Yeah.
And wraps him up.
Almost kills the dude.
And the Pat McAfee boys hop the barricade, and the security's more concerned about keeping them back than they are about getting Gunther off of Pat McAfee.
Which probably almost kills him. Mm-hmm. I mean, did you see how
he was turning purple?
Yeah.
He was turning purple.
Yeah, man.
Michael Cole about broke his nose. Pat McAfee had to be taken back. They brought Joe Tessitore, I believe his last name is. And then the freaking GOAT, Michael Cole.
Yeah.
Saying, "The night's not over. I still got a job to do.
I'm not going to let a bully ruin
my day. I'm going back out there. I'm going to finish the job."
Yeah.
And he did, because he's the freaking GOAT.
Who's going to... Is this setting up for Gunther versus Pat?
No, because Pat would get his butt kicked.
Yeah. I mean, who do you think will stand up for him?
It's a good question. Where does Gunther go next?
Yeah.
I don't necessarily have an answer for you.
Do you think we're gonna have this suspension story, even though he keeps coming back and doing things?
And maybe he just keeps coming back and he can't be contained.
Right.
We'll see.
Gets sent over to SmackDown.
Maybe. Next match is the Intercontinental Championship. Dominic Mysterio defending against Penta.
Dominic getting that win. With the help of returning JD McDonough.
JD McDonough. Finn Balor looked a little suspicious for JD.
Yeah.
Looking like he maybe didn't appreciate him being out there. Helping Dom win.
Cause we still see a smile.
Because where was he at the night before?
Right.
You tell me one night difference is going to make a difference in him?
Yeah.
They were still in Vegas, so it's not like he wasn't already there.
Very interesting.
We'll see.
But, yeah. Do you think that they're setting up for a new member to take over Finn's spot?
Finn's spot, and then get Dom versus Finn at Backlash, maybe? Keep in mind, Backlash is only 3 weeks away.
Right.
It's less than a month.
I think they're saving
It's a quick turnaround.
I think they're probably going to have,
They're going to save it more, maybe for SummerSlam or something?
Yeah, I think they're going to build it up more.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. Do you think the Judgment Day is making it to next Mania? That'd be crazy if they drag it on to next Mania.
It's very unlikely.
Because, again, we did the math. How many years have they been around since WrestleMania 38 with Edge and Damian Priest? That was 2022.
Mm-hmm.
So next year would be 4 years.
Yeah.
Of this group being around. That's a long time.
Very long time.
And then at the end of the night, we had the whole Seth Rollins, Paul Heyman segment before they could even get a word out. CM Punk's music hits.
Then Roman Reigns' music hits.
Mm-hmm. They all start brawling again, going after him.
Because Seth Rollins gets the upper hand on CM Punk.
Well, yeah, he takes out CM Punk. CM Punk's neutralized because he gets distracted with Paul Heyman. Roman Reigns comes out, starts getting the best of Seth Rollins, about to hit a spear.
Then out of nowhere, some dude in a hoodie comes out and
catches him with a spear of his own.
Yeah. It's Braun Breaker.
Braun Breaker. Ooh, 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 ooh. And he's not done yet.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns starts to fight back a little bit. But once they're on the outside, Braun Breaker.
Mm-hmm.
Like a freaking speeding bullet.
Yeah.
Spears him through the barricade.
Yeah.
And we got a new Paul Heyman guy. Braun Breaker.
We have 2 Paul Heyman guys.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this is definitely setting up for a tag team match at Backlash.
At Backlash. Roman Reigns, Punk versus Breaker and Rollins.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Moving on to Anything else you want to say on Raw before we move on?
Just besides the fact that Becky Lynch is probably the one that took out Bayley, you think?
You think she was the one that took out Bayley?
I think so.
I thought it was maybe Liv and Raquel doing it.
I mean, they've also been blamed for Naomi.
It's possible.
I mean, you know what I'm talking about.
For
Jade Cargill.
All right, moving on to NXT from April 22nd. Liv and Raquel defend their titles again
against Gigi Dolan
and Tatum Paxley. And Liv and Raquel pick up the W.
Yeah,
solid opener. Noam Dar making a huge return and defeats Lexis King to become the new Heritage Cup champion. Thea Hale defeated Fallon Henley. Joe Hendry returned to NXT to confront Obafemi and Trick Williams.
Yep.
Dark State defeated Javon Evans and Miles Bourne. And Stephanie Vaquera defeated Roxanne Perez in an NXT Championship match.
I didn't watch NXT. Did we see anything from Stax Lorenzo?
I didn't watch it either. I just watched match highlights. But I believe there was a backstage or video package segment.
It probably was, yeah.
It was pretty much like, I don't know. I mean, it was basically just like he doesn't need him anymore. And I've heard a lot that they're thinking about moving Tony D'Angelo up to the main roster.
Mm-hmm.
There's some thoughts about that. And then, obviously, everybody knew that the whole family storyline
it was going to end at some point.
Yeah, and the only way to end it was for Stax to turn on the family.
I think Stax and Tony will get one last match, and then Tony
that'll
will be
it. And Tony may move on to the main roster.
But yeah, shout out NXT, man. They're pulling out their own right now.
Yeah.
I had to work that night. I couldn't watch it.
Okay. Thank you, Caysen.
Just want to let you know.
All right.
I'm not a failure.
Okay.
All right, guys.
Next week we'll find out who won. We'll tally all the match predictions.
Yeah.
We'll tally them all up and figure out what punishment will be coming whose way. Because I don't remember it off the top of my head, but I can go back and look.
What else, man? I mean, what do you think WrestleMania... I think this was a step down from WrestleMania 40.
It's going to be hard to top last year's. Last year's was so good.
I think they tried to make last year's good and stuff because of the fact that it was the 40th year.
Yeah, well... I mean, I don't think the number really dictates much all the time. It's just...
Well, they try to make
I think they had a lot more going for it.
Yeah.
They had the Cody storyline. Cody finishing the story was so huge. You had The Rock in it, which is why I don't understand why they didn't have him going into this Mania. It makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had like Rhea Ripley, Becky Lynch being a big dream WrestleMania match there. Oh, we didn't talk about how Stone Cold nearly killed somebody at WrestleMania.
I was going to try to stay away from that.
He reared around and slammed into the barricade on the four-wheeler.
Apparently she's like suing him and stuff, right?
Well, I think she flopped a little bit. If you really go back and look.
She definitely did.
And she's looking for that payday. That's why Nick Khan was out there trying to smooth things over. The Hall of Fame freaking went on to 2 a.m.?
Oh.
I'm not watching that. I'm sorry, but I'm not staying up. Everybody was literally falling asleep at the ceremony.
Did you
Booker T was asleep.
Did you watch the part where you know how they had the Shawn Michaels come out and say the amount of people as well?
Uh-huh.
Whenever he was doing gestures and stuff and he's dancing, he actually showed the thing to the camera so everyone could see get it all ready. The number.
The what? For the attendance?
Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't paying attention.
He was doing this or something, and it just showed it clear as day.
I don't think that's that big of a deal.
I saw it and I thought it was hilarious. I was dying.
But yeah, that's WrestleMania weekend for you.
Solid though. I'm not gonna say it was bad. It was good.
Yeah.
I think we're really just spoiled.
Are we spoiled?
I think so.
Yeah.
There's a lot more in store for WWE. WWE is still...
It's time to start cooking with some new storylines.
And I think...
Wyatt freaking 6. Let's get it going. Aleister Black.
I think we'll see Wyatt 6 stuff on SmackDown.
On SmackDown. Oh my goodness. Bold prediction. I hope so. At least a tease or something. Give us something.
So. I hope so, man. I really do. But, yeah, let us know what you think WrestleMania. Let us know what you think is going to happen. Any predictions going to happen. But, yeah, we'll go and get you all out of here. Magic Tyler, Caysen Smith, and WrestleMania weekend, y'all, with the champ. We'll see you on the next one.